Fantastic December day at Candlestick, 65 degrees. Molly McGrath, the third member of our broadcast team. She's on the field.
Thanks, Kevin. I talked to 49ers wide receiver Michael Crabtree during pregame warmups today, and he said that he feels very confident that that right Achilles is back to full health, saying that he's not wearing any special wraps, orthotics, or shoes today. He said that he's very excited to act as another offensive weapon for the 49ers passing attack, and he's always strong against the Rams with 6 touchdown catches in his last 7 career games against St. Louis. So a huge offensive threat coming back for San Francisco for the first time this season, Kevin.
Oh, that's for sure. And they missed him. Colin Kaepernick's favorite target. This guy is dangerous. Tavon Austin, 4 touchdowns the last 2 games, over 57 yards. He's back to receive the kick as the Rams won the toss and will receive. Jim Harbaugh had his 49ers back on the winning side, and Jeff Fisher in his second year with St. Louis has his team in the playoff conversation, especially if they get a win today. Phil Dawson kicks it off. We're underway in San Francisco. Austin going to take it out. And he is stopped at the 15-yard line. Good coverage, Michael Wilhoit from San Francisco in on the tackle. And the Rams start out deep in their own territory. Kellen Clemens, last 3 games, has done a nice job. The Rams coming off 2 blowout victories, filling in for the injured Sam Bradford.
And Kellen Clemens, a perfect example on how important a capable backup is to this team. Many people, including myself, actually thinks they're better so far with Kellen Clemens at the quarterback position.
And their run game has gotten going behind that man, Zach Stacy, the rookie out of Vanderbilt. He's been electric for this Rams team. Austin, they use him everywhere, receiving and running, and he's at the top of your screen right now. Give to Stacy running the ball, and he goes absolutely nowhere. Aldon Smith makes the tackle. And already, we showed you what happened a half hour for the game, and that's boiling over here on the first play.
It's funny. It tells you how important practice is, Kevin. We're out there Friday. Aldon Smith barely on the field, limited with the shoulder. First play of the game, he's out, and you talk about the heated rivalry. That's it right there. Not much love lost between these 2 teams.
Clemens on the fake. Move around and bumps into his own man, and down he goes. Justin Smith, I think, will get credit for it. He came in with some pressure.
And that's just what the 49ers are and why you can't get in long yardage situations. Aldon Smith, a beast off the corner right here. He's going to push Kellen Clemens up, and then Justin Smith just takes the left guard, Chris Williams, for a ride right back into Kellen Clemens for the sack.
Justin Smith had a 2-sack game against the Redskins on Monday, and Aldon Smith did the same. He's rounding into form. 3rd and 17 for St. Louis. 3-man rush. They're going to get it to Stedman Bailey, and Bailey up to the 20 is nowhere near a first down. So the Rams go 3 and out on their opening possession.
Exactly what the 49ers wanted. When we talked to Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator for the Rams, he said the big key, can't get in negative yardage situations, no tackles for losses right away. Aldon Smith delivers, puts them in a tough situation. 3 and out for the Niners defense.
Michael James will return the punt. He had a 40-yard return against Washington Monday night. Johnny Hecker leads the league in net punting average. Another good kick.
Got it!
James at the 28. And a short return. Good kick. 51-yard punt, 4.7 hang time. And now Colin Kaepernick coming off the highest rated game of his young career against the Redskins behind this outstanding offensive line. Missing one of their key cogs for the 2nd straight week as Snyder at left guard fills in for Mike Iupati, the Pro Bowler.
We talked about Michael Crabtree being back in the lineup. He will start. He can back a defense up. That's why he's so important. Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator, said he balances out the field for us. We'll see how healthy he is today. Here he is right here.
Vernon Davis in motion. Kaepernick going to throw it, and incomplete. Looking for Anquan Bolden.
When you look at this St. Louis defense, the strength of it is up front. Two defensive ends in Chris Long and Robert Quinn that flat out bring it. James Laurinaitis in the middle. He gets them lined up. Alec Ogletree, an outstanding rookie.
And the Rams are young at safety. They've got a second-year man in McLeod and a rookie in McDonald manning the middle of the field. Kaepernick on second down draw. It's Gore. Big hole. Frank Gore gets a block. First down. Flags coming, though. A couple of them. Crabtree had his hands raised in the air.
That usually means you're guilty, and they're going to get him for a block in the back. See him coming, anxious.
They're in the run. Illegal block in the back. Offense number 15. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
See Michael Crabtree so anxious to be back. I've been there before. You've been out. He wants some physicality. Gives a little shot to Jenkins on the first snap. Here's the other side. I promised you, physical game here today.
Going against Tremaine Johnson, starting quarterback. Now matched up bottom of your screen against Janoris Jenkins. Throw it again. Good pocket. And knocked away. Talk about the young safeties. That's T.J. McDonald, the rookie. And he's familiar around these parts because his father, Tim, was a terrific 49er safety.
And this is how his father used to cover those tight ends. Excellent coverage by T.J. McDonald. A big safety who can match up with the likes of Vernon Davis. Does an excellent job right there.
And so a 3rd and 10 for San Francisco on their opening possession. Rams won 3 and out on theirs. Pressure coming. Kaepernick near side completes. And a first down for the 49ers. It's Anquan Boldin.
What Colin Kaepernick has in Anquan Boldin, you don't see much separation. Anquan Boldin doesn't need a whole lot of separation. Gets his hands underneath the football. What ball location by Kaepernick. Bolden with the strong hands brings in the catch.
And the other thing about this Niners offense, clearly the attention on Michael Crabtree today, but Mario Manningham is slowly getting back into his form. We saw that last week with 4 catches, and now it's going to be a penalty. The Rams may have gotten a little over anxious there. Jolon Dunbar.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 97. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
They get it instead on Eugene Sims. Either way, 5-yard flag against the Rams. It's Bill Vinovich, by the way. He's been following us around this year, John. I think 3rd week in a row we've had Bill's crew. Done a fine job this year, his crew. Now first down and 5. That's McDonald, the rookie tight end, in motion. At midfield. Has Crabtree incomplete and a penalty flag.
I'm not so sure they aren't going to get Crabtree on a little offensive PI.
Pass interference. Offense number 15. 10-yard penalty. Receives first down.
Well, we talked about it. He's eager for contact, and he's getting it. He's a physical wide receiver. You see the push outside the framework of the body. The officials all over it, and he's pleading, but you're guilty. Typically they are. When the hands are up, they're guilty.
Well, here's why Colin Kaepernick especially wants to get him involved. They had such great chemistry last year when Kaepernick took over this job. And it was evident. And when he was not here this year, that was also pretty clear. Now 1st and 15. Give it to Gore. And Gore, not much that time as Sims corralled him after a gain of 1. But, you know, you think about it and you see this. Oh, there's drawing going on here today. It's McDonald and Anquan Boldin. You know, Kaepernick talked about it, though, John. He said, you know, he's easy to throw the ball to. When I first started into the game and as a starting quarterback, he said, throw me the ball. And he did, and it worked.
So I kept throwing him the ball. And Colin Kaepernick, he's a smart man. And this is of great concern for the 49ers. Joe Staley, the left tackle, down early.
Outstanding left tackle. 49er staff looks at him. Joe Staley walking off after suffering some kind of injury, and so the Niners have a jostled offensive line right now on a 2nd down and 14. They move Boone from right guard to left tackle, and they bring in Joe Looney. Room to run for Kaepernick. And he slides down around midfield, and a flag comes in. It's a 9-yard run, maybe getting more than that.
That's what you have to be so careful. Yes, it's a teams that don't care for each other, but you can't let that get in the way of your team. You can't be selfish and go get silly fouls, and looks like they're going to get Jolon Dunbar for one on Kaepernick's slide.
And you saw even more trash talking in that picture. A lot of that going on today. This could be a high penalty affair. Now they're getting together again, and the officials having to separate a couple of players.
Personal foul. Defense number 58. Hit to the quarterback head. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Watch at it. The slide right there. He's protected himself. Not a whole lot of contact, but the league is very clear. Once he slides, especially feet first, he has given himself up. You got to stay away. Not a whole lot there, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rough one, John. I mean, really, but you hit it. I mean, once the quarterback goes into that position to give himself up, you can't touch him. Look at this. There has been all kinds of talking to this shippy starts here in Candlestick. Michael Crabtree back in the game, top of your screen. He's been in for most of this first 49ers series. Already 2 offensive penalties. 1st and 10 for Kaepernick and company. Little running room, nothing there. Well, other score in the NFC West, the Eagles beat the Cardinals 24-21 in Philadelphia today. So that's a result that drops the Cardinals to 7-5. So clearly big implications with this game. 49ers and Rams right in that mix. Meanwhile, John, the Eagles have won 4 in a row, and Nick Foles still hasn't thrown an interception.
Unbelievable play by Nick Foles.
2nd and 12. Kaepernick gets a good block. Has Davis. Vernon Davis hauls it in. He's out of bounds at the 15-yard line on a big play, and a first down for the 49ers. A gain of 23.
With a hard play action by Colin Kaepernick. Vernon Davis slips out behind the coverage of Alec Ogletree. A perfectly placed ball by Colin Kaepernick. That's great execution by the 49ers offense. Davis getting the forearm shiver.
49ers on this opening drive moving down the field. 1st and 10 at the Rams 15-yard line now. It's Vance McDonald in motion. It's Gore, not much. Laurinaitis came in to make the initial hit after a gain of 2.
Kevin, with Joe Staley out, they brought in Joe Looney. He's playing the right guard position. They shift Alex Boone over to left tackle. And what a monumental task he has on his hands against Robert Quinn, who many people feel is playing at a higher level than any defensive end in football right now. 13 sacks we mentioned earlier. There's Boone right there at left tackle.
So you got really 3 guys out of position on that line now. Boone now at left tackle. Upati's out. The Snyder's in there, and then Looney at right guard. 10th play of the drive for San Francisco. Gore. And Gore has nowhere to run. Again, it's Laurinaitis coming on to make the hit. No gain.
This is really the key for this St. Louis defense, the ability to stop the run. Watch Laurinaitis right there. Going to scrape over the top, and that's textbook tackling right there. Hit him with your breastplate, wrap the arms, bring it. You've got to bring it against Frank Gore. Laurinaitis does a tremendous job.
Laurinaitis has been a real solid player. Led the Rams in tackles for the last 4 years. He's their defensive leader. And now a 3rd and 8. Low snap. Kaepernick still looking, being pursued, and he's tripped up around the edge by William Hayes. So Kaepernick kept it alive, but no one there. And Hayes, who was a terrific find by this Rams team, made the play.
Well, credit the coverage in the back end. Nobody there for Kaepernick. He tries to extend the play, but just look at the hustle by William Hayes. That's a 280-pound man tracking down Colin Kaepernick. Fine play by William Hayes.
And now Phil Dawson has made 13 straight field goals. Will try a 32-yarder. The hole from Andy Lee, the punter. And Dawson is up and good from 32. Kaepernick a little frustrated, but opening drive gets 3 points. 65-degree day at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. 3-0 49ers on their opening drive. They get a Phil Dawson field goal. Good opening drive. They got help too with a couple of Rams penalties. And now Tavon Austin back to receive. Stedman Bailey is back there as well. They were teammates at West Virginia last year. It's Austin looking for a block or two, and Austin wiggles his way out to about the 20-yard line. Here's a penalty that helped the Niners drive. That's a tough one, and Jeff Fisher not exactly thrilled. Getting the explanation. His Rams back on 0 next. Chinatown. Boy, those folks are moving fast today. They're up and at it this morning. Why not? It's 65 degrees. Jeff Fisher saw his defense bend but not break. Phil Dawson field goal on the Niners opening drive. And now the Rams back at it. They went 3 and out on their opening possession. Went backwards a little bit too. It's Tavon Austin, number 11. In your screen. Kendricks, tight end in motion. And the Rams go to the ground with Stacy to pick up a couple of yards, make it 5.
Take a look at Joe Staley, the left tackle. Here's what happened. He goes up to the second level. He's going to get that block, but watch his right knee right there. I believe it's Ogletree that it swings, and it's his right knee, I believe, from the looks of that is in question.
That's a problem. I mean, he may be the best left tackle in the league. In motion again to give to Stacy, the rookie from Vandy, and that time no gain as Navarro Bowman with the stick. Let's get an update on Staley. Here's Molly.
Thanks, Kevin. As you saw, trainers were working on Joe Staley's right leg. He was pointing to his right knee and shaking his head in frustration. He tried to put all of his weight on that right leg and fell over in pain. He just went back to the locker room and he is confirmed out for the rest of the game, so that is bad news for San Francisco. Kevin?
Well, that report did not sound good. Falling over in pain, and I got to tell you, John, this is a big game clearly, but that's got bigger implications for the 49ers as far as the season goes. 3rd down and 5. The Rams have been great on 3rd. 42% the last 3 games. Clemens has time and fires, dropped over the middle. Looked a little bit behind Jared Cook. And 2 straight 3 and out to start the game for this Rams offense.
And that's a ball Jared Cook has to catch. Kellen Clemens puts a strike right on him, right in his hands. And against the 49ers on the road, those are the type of plays you need to make as an offense to move the chains.
LaMichael James will receive this punt. 49ers had Kyle Williams on the punt return squad till a few weeks ago when Jim Harbaugh decided to put James back there. And it's worked. Another good kick by Hecker. And James drops it, but he got it back. I think he got it back. He did. Ray Armstrong was the first to get there, and he could have had that one, but James did get it back, and the 49ers will retain possession. Almost jinxed LaMichael James saying how Jim Harbaugh's decision worked.
Kevin, you mentioned that it did work. The one issue he did have, he muffed a punt versus the Washington Redskins as well. Gets away with it against the Rams.
49ers dodge a bullet, and now their defense has held the Rams at a couple of 3-and-outs. Will turn it over to the offense. 3-0 San Francisco. Second possession for the 49ers, who lead at 3-0 over the Rams. And you can't stress enough the left side of this offensive line, which features 2 Pro Bowlers who are now not in there anymore. Upati came into this game hurt, and he's out maybe another couple weeks. And Joe Staley left this game hurt and won't return with a knee. Kendall Hunter goes left side and has a big gain on first down. He's out to the 35, and he picks up 7.
So you know what you do, Kevin. You're missing 2 All-Pros on the left side. You run left. They get right behind Vance McDonald, Alex Boone, and Adam Snyder. Tremendous job by Alex Boone creating the seam for Kendall Hunter. Good production on first down by the 49er run game.
And we'll keep an eye on that as the game goes on. 2nd and 3. Derek Carrier, tight end in motion, and the Rams may have jumped for the 2nd time today. That was Chris Long. Bill Vinovich.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 91. 5-yard penalty. Results in a first down.
Chris Long knows this. You got to watch the football. Colin Kaepernick, you could hear the inflection up here. Certain guys are skilled at the hard count. Think of Peyton Manning. Colin Kaepernick very good at it.
We should point out, can't tell if he was using the hard count because we're having some issues with the mic down there, John. But boy, the couple of quick penalties on the Rams, it's hurt him. Blitz coming, picked up. Kaepernick going deep for Bolden. Incomplete, flag flies. Tremaine Johnson on the coverage on Bolden. This could be the 4th penalty already on St. Louis.
Illegal hands to the face. Defense number 22. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
I think it's important as to why they're throwing up top. You see the 8 guys up front. 8 guys in the box. That means one-on-ones outside. Colin Kaepernick will take that every time. He loves Anquan Bolden in that type of situation. Not going to get him a whole lot of separation, but going to go up and fight for the ball. There they get the penalty. Another productive first down.
Penalties have been somewhat an issue for St. Louis this year. 4 already today. They average a little over 7 a game. That's 26th in the league. Blitz coming. Kaepernick has Davis open. Vernon Davis hurdles a player. Well, Vernon Davis leapt over Rodney McLeod. 20-yard gain.
And what a play by Vernon Davis, but what a throw by Colin Kaepernick. He's got T.J. McDonald blitzing off the corner. Look at the touch on that over the Rams defenders. And then up goes Vernon Davis. And then he's not done yet. What a play by 2 tremendous athletes.
You know, you've seen some stuff in the National Football League that's nuts, but I don't know that I've ever seen a tight end leap over a guy's head in the middle of the field. 1st and 10 for the Niners. Kaepernick pressured, and he taken down. Michael Brockers, the defensive tackle, 2nd-year guy from LSU, makes the play.
And there's that left side of the offensive line. They've got their work cut out with those 2, Brockers and Robert Quinn. Boone does a tremendous job on Robert Quinn. Snyder looking to help and doesn't have anyone coming his way on Brockers. A miscommunication on that line, and that's what can happen. Continuity is key at the offensive line position, and they don't have it right now with their 2 normal starters out on that left side.
And this Rams defensive line can play. I mean, they came in with 33 sacks. Kaepernick fires over the middle, and he's got a completion. It's the first one of the season of Michael Crabtree. And the fans hear it.
A nice hand for Michael Crabtree, who they're thrilled to have back. But Colin Kaepernick, when we talked to him, I asked him, I said, you know better than anybody else, where is he in terms of his health? He said, the one thing you can't simulate in practice is the physicality. He's a physical wide receiver. That's what I'm going to be looking for. That's what Colin Kaepernick said. He's played physical here early.
Crabtree's in the slot now on a 3rd and 11. Kaepernick looking the other way for Bolden, and there's a penalty again. This is going to be on Janoris Jenkins. It's going to be the 5th flag, all on defense on the Rams in the first quarter.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 21. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
You watch Chris Long with the tremendous inside move and then puts it on Colin Kaepernick. But those corners for the Rams are going to have to hold up, and that's why the 49ers have such a great opportunity with Crabtree, Manningham, Vernon Davis, the full complement of wide receivers, because they have such a great run game. Everybody's got to load up to stop it. The pass game is just there for the taking.
Here's Frank Gore on first down. A little jump cut that gets inside the 30 to the 28. It's a gain of 3. Chris Long making the tackle.
Chris Long and Robert Quinn. There used to be a perception that these guys were just pass rushers, but watching the film, not so fast. These guys complete players at the defensive end position, play the run and pass and take great pride in it.
You look at that, Quinn not in on this particular series, but I don't think most football fans would guess that the Rams, that combo, second only to KC. Pressure from here, Kaepernick going to run and has room to do so. Sliding down about the 20, first down, San Francisco.
Well, he's a true dual threat. He's going to drop back. Doesn't have his first read. He sees green grass and he says, let me get out of here. Frank Gore does a tremendous job going from a wide receiver right there to let's go block for Cap. That's smart football by Colin Kaepernick.
And sliding to protect himself. Something he's done a pretty good job of, avoiding the big hits this year. And now a timeout.
First charge timeout. San Francisco.
49ers take a timeout, but with the help of some penalties, their offense moving the ball today. The Rams trying to stop this Niners offense. 3-0 San Francisco. First quarter's been dominated by San Francisco. Rams haven't done much on offense, and they've also helped the 49ers because 5 penalties all on D, and 4 of them have given Colin Kaepernick and company a first down. First and 10. Second possession, that's Bolden in motion. They throw it again. Pressure again. And Kaepernick, a lot of room to run at the 10. And he's out of bounds around the 5, but hang on, there's a flag back in the area of holding around the 25, so let's see.
Holding. Offense number 59. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
It's the center, Jonathan Goodwin. He's going to be right about there. See if we can pick it up in the traffic. And as Kaepernick escapes, he gets a handful of Michael Brockers, and Michael Brockers does a heck of a job of selling it. But that's part of the game as well. And Goodwin says, "No, I don't like that call."
I kind of agree. You know, you're right. Brockers did sell it because even if he let him go, he's not catching Kaepernick on that play, but it's a huge call. And first and 20 instead of a first and goal at the 5, backed up at the 30 now. Gore, right side, and he's inside the 25. They'll mark him down right at the 25, so he'll get 6 yards. Chris Long on the tackle.
49ers so creative under Jim Harbaugh and offensive coordinator Greg Roman with the running game. They hit you with the powers, with the quick traps, a multitude of shifts and motions before the plays ever happen. It's all about eye distraction. Get your eyes off what you should be, your keys. And it's been very successful for them.
Can Greg Roman sit behind any foggier of a window than that? I mean, how does he see the field?
Well, they got a new stadium next year. They'll clear up that grass.
Crabtree back in the game, top of your screen. Again, pressure. Kaepernick in trouble, and down he goes. The 3rd sack by the Rams. Kendall Langford was there first, the defensive tackle, and that might be the end of the first quarter.
You see Kaepernick, one thing he has struggled with is progressions. Your first read's not there. Get to your second. Instead, sometimes his eyes go down and look at the rush. Kendall Langford takes advantage of it.
First quarter over from Candlestick Park. There's been a lot of trash talking. There's been leaping over defenders. There's been a field goal. 3-0, 49ers. You wonder why Michael Crabtree returning is a big deal, because every touchdown that Colin Kaepernick has thrown has been to two guys. Now, granted, both those guys are great, Bolden and Davis, but looking for someone else to get involved. Crabtree, top of your screen on a 3rd and 21. We start the second quarter here in San Francisco. 3-0 49ers over the Rams. And a draw to Gore. Breaks through first couple of hits, gets down to 25. And that at least sets up a very makeable Phil Dawson field goal try.
I think both coaches understand that this is going to be a physical defensive ball game. And do they want to score touchdowns? Yeah. But in a situation like that, get the positive yards. Let's set up Phil Dawson for a field goal and make this a 6-0 football game. Jim Harbaugh coached a little bit like his old college coach, Bo Schembechler.
Harbaugh looking on this really fantastic December day with no wind on the field. 43-yarder for Dawson. And Dawson up and good. 15 straight field goals for Phil Dawson. And the 49ers have the 6-0 lead. Nice day to drive across the Golden Gate Bridge. Hopefully the top is down at least. Shot on a great day as we turn the calendar to December and early second quarter. 49ers 6-0 over the Rams. Niners have completely dominated here in the early going, but it's only 6-0. Rams have held up at least when it counts. A couple of Phil Dawson field goals. Rams have also been sloppy. They've had 5 defensive penalties. And Dawson will kick it off. Tavon Austin not shy about coming out. Still will after the bobble. And San Francisco's done a fine job defending him on those kick returns so far. And so the Rams will have their third possession. Well, hi, everyone. We welcome you inside our booth high atop Candlestick. He's John. I'm Kevin. So it's been domination by the 49ers, but it's only 6-0.
Well, the Rams have done a nice job defensively of buckling down once they get down in that red zone area. And you think about the Rams offensively, they have had so much success of late with the run game. It hasn't been pretty here today. Brian Schottenheimer, when we sat with him, he said, look, it could be ugly early. We got to stay with it, be patient, and commit to it. Let's see if they can do that.
And at 6-0, you certainly don't have to abandon any kind of game plan. Clemens to throw with a lot of time, and Cook dropped it. And takes a hit afterwards, Sue, from Eric Reed. That's 2 that Cook has got to catch.
They paid him a lot of money to come make these kind of plays. And Kellen Clemens, you can't throw a better football. Interesting at the end of this play, Eric Reed going to come in low on Jared Cook. And I think you're going to see more and more of this. They're penalizing guys for going high. This used to be taboo in the NFL. You did not go at a guy's legs when they were outstretched. But you can't blame Eric Reed or any defensive player for doing just that, because the league has been so vigilant in penalizing the high hits.
Reed also took a hit, looks like to his midsection right there, but he's walking off, seems just fine. The nice feature on the pregame show with him, kind of telling us a little bit about himself. Saw some of his big highlights that he's had this year. He's filled in just terrifically in that secondary with Dante Whitman.
You know, Deshaun Goldson was a free agent. They weren't ready to pay him that much as he went to Tampa for a lot of money. They traded up, got Eric Reed, and I think they've made an upgrade.
Craig Dahl started every game for the Rams last year, now fills in for Reed in the secondary. 5-man rush, Clemens, and Cook almost dropped it but catches it, and he's got a first down. My, oh my, Jared Cook. He did get it, though, and it moves the chains for St. Louis.
Well, Jared Cook might want to go see an old Raider across the bay, Freddie Bolitnikoff, and get some of that stickum, because he's got the bobbles early. But if you're going to bobble it to yourself. Great stick-to-itness by Jared Cook, staying with it, getting the first down.
Reed back in the game, so his midsection just fine as the Rams try to build a little momentum on offense. Down 6-0 and a 1st and 10. Kendricks in motion. Try to get the run game going with Zach Stacy. Zach Stacy has been really quite the find for this Rams team, John, and I don't think anyone in St. Louis really knew what they had till about 7 games ago.
No, they liked what he did at Vanderbilt. He didn't play on the best of team against great competition in the Southeastern Conference, but they liked his makeup. He's a smaller little bowling ball of a running back. They knew they wanted to go to more of a power attack. They thought he fit that type of back, and he's been very successful for the Rams.
Tavon Austin in motion. Always have to pay attention to him. Clemens looking, has time, and looking there for Chris Givens, but overthrown, incomplete. Kellen Clemens now 2 of 5 for 33 yards, but has had 2 drops. And we talked about Stacy in the run game. Since that Niners game, they were averaging 47 yards a game on the ground, but when they changed the philosophy since, for the last 7 games, they've averaged 152 yards on the ground. Haven't gotten it going yet today, though.
They've averaged running it 31 times. Running it today, just not effectively. It's setting up these long third downs.
Need to get to the 46. A lot of time. Clemens fires near side, complete to Stedman Bailey, and a flag from back in the secondary. Bailey tackled by Brock. Certainly be a first down if it holds up, but the initial indications are it won't.
Pass interference. Offense, number 12. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
There it is. Stedman Bailey working against Tremaine Brock. And there's the shove right there. Little subtle one inside. The officials not letting a lot of contact go on outside, either offensively or defensively. A bunch of penalty flags early.
Does that stem from the pregame confrontation in midfield?
I think officials, when you have a chippy game, a lot of back and forth, they're a little more inclined to call a tight game, try to keep control of it.
3rd and 18. Clemens fires a dart, incomplete. And tipped up. Is that still alive? No. Ball did hit the ground. As Eric Wright was there, may have thought he got a fortuitous bounce. But the Rams will have to punt it away.
You see the high snap. Good save by Kellen Clemens. And then watch Navarro Bowman flash in front of this ball. He's going to cut underneath the throw from Kellen Clemens. And Navarro Bowman, a tremendous athlete and presence in the middle of that field, along with Patrick Willis for the 49ers D.
Eckers had a good game punting, a good year punting, gets off another bomb. James bobbled the one before, has trouble with that one, but corrals it. And the 49ers will take over with a 6-0 lead. Jeff Fisher looking for something on offense. Only 1 first down for this Rams team. They trail by 6. 6-0 San Francisco in front of St. Louis. Their football on their own 28-yard line. A couple of field goals on long drives for the 49ers so far. Kaepernick has it batted down at the line of scrimmage. Saturday, the Big Ten Championship on Fox. 3rd-ranked Ohio State takes on 11th-ranked Michigan State. See which team will earn an automatic bid to the BCS bowl game. Ohio State could get to the national title game with it seems. Anyway, coverage Big Ten Championship Saturday, 7:30 Eastern only on Fox. There's a former Buckeye and another. Laurinaitis and Dante Whitner. Of course, you can't talk about college football without that unbelievable game in Auburn with the Iron Bowl yesterday. That was nuts. Crowd ultra quiet for Kaepernick at work on second. Lofting it deep for Davis. Overthrown, incomplete. Actually, it was Crabtree, excuse me.
Well, they clearly are trying to get that passing game going. I talked to Greg Roman on the field. He said, we're going to try to loosen them up. You've seen them attempt. Kaepernick 4 of 8 for 63 yards, but just lacking any rhythm in this passing game. And credit Jeff Fisher and this Rams defense. They've been called for some penalties, but they're staying aggressive, staying up in the face of those receivers and not allowing a lot of space for Colin Kaepernick and the 49ers receivers to operate.
And since Joe Staley, their Pro Bowl left tackle, went out, they've allowed 2 sacks to Kaepernick too. 3rd and 10. Steps up, fires, wide open man. It's Bolden. Anquan Bolden gets up to the 49-yard line. Darian Stewart on the tackle, but a 21-yard gain and a first down.
And that was just good quarterbacking by Colin Kaepernick. You're going to see Chris Long get the edge on Antoine Davis. Going to step up, keep his eyes downfield, and deliver a dart to Anquan Bolden.
John, one thing about this Rams defense, they bring pressure, they're physical. They haven't done a great job on 3rd down, and this year they've allowed 19 drives of 5 minutes or longer, 2 in this game. That's near the bottom of the league. On 1st down, Kaepernick bobbles the read option and patiently gets it down to the 44-yard line.
A lot of people around the San Francisco area have been wondering, where's the read option been? Well, here it is. And watch Colin Kaepernick. He's going to read William Hayes, the left end right there. If he comes down, he keeps it. He keeps it, but he kind of bobbles with it. But there it is. The 49ers breaking out that tool that they have that can be so effective with Colin Kaepernick at the quarterback position.
Kaepernick with a 6-yard run. And it's 2nd and 4. Hard to believe it's December 1st in San Francisco with no wind with that kind of temperature, but that's the case. And Bolden, Kaepernick connecting with him for another first down. Tremaine Johnson on the coverage.
One thing Jim Harbaugh loves about his quarterback Colin Kaepernick is that he's an athlete. He's got a big-time arm. This guy had a 94-mile-an-hour fastball as a pitcher in high school, and he just used it right there. That was an absolute dart to Anquan Bolden.
Kaepernick 91 yards so far as the 49ers have moved the ball each time they've had it. This is their 3rd possession. Bruce Miller, the fullback, split out wide, bottom of your screen. Good pass receiver, though. 3rd on the team in receiving this year. Kaepernick looking the other side of the field, and he's got a completion. Bolden again.
And right after I say they're struggling to get any rhythm going in their passing game, they've done just that. The last 3 completed passes, Colin Kaepernick looking very sharp, going through progressions, reading it out, and establishing some rhythm in the 49er passing game.
Anthony Dixon now in at tailback. Mario Manningham, the lone wide out top of your screen. Dixon, nice move initially, but then Jolan Dunbar there.
Show me.
We talked to Kaepernick the other day, and he was fun. He was engaging. He was happy about getting his weapons back. And John, you know, Jim Harbaugh said during the week he's had armadillo skin. Said, did you know you had armadillo skin? He said, that's what my parents told me on Thanksgiving.
He said some people have baby deer skin. Not my quarterback. He's got armadillo skin, and he likes, in the face of some criticism, which Kaepernick has had of late, the focus and still staying loose. He loves this guy at quarterback, and you can see why.
On 3rd down, blitz coming. Kaepernick gets rid of it, and Anquan Bolden again with a flag one more time. Bolden is close to a first down. Let's see what the penalty is.
I think they're going to get that shot to a defenseless player on Tremaine Johnson.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Hit on a defenseless receiver. Defense number 22. Pass it into the goal. Automatic first down.
Perfectly placed ball by Kaepernick. We're going to see Tremaine Johnson. Remember, it does not have to be helmet to helmet. It can be the shoulder, the arm, anything above the neck. And it's hard as a defensive back. I've been there. These people are moving fast. Bolden's fallen to the ground. But that is the rule. That's what these officials are told to call.
It's almost like you have to incorporate physics when you're trying to hit somebody, determine where he's going to land when you hit him. Kaepernick to throw it. Good drive by San Francisco. It's Miller in the flat, but Laurinaitis hog ties him down for no gain on the play. I mean, in that particular point, you're coming in to make the tackle. How are you supposed to guess where Bolden's going to fall. You're obviously just trying to make the play there.
You aren't.
Yeah.
You aren't. And I think it's just something. We talked to both coaches, Jeff Fisher and Jim Harbaugh, this week, because they have both been affected by questionable calls to the quarterback. But how do you coach it? And you try your hardest to hit in the strike zone, but they almost have to concede that, look, some of these are going to get called. It's what the league's emphasizing. You can not like it, but it's the reality.
Michael Crabtree split to the top of your screen. He's got one catch in his season debut. Kaepernick pumps, pressure coming, dropped again. And the Rams have their 4th sack of the game. It's Michael Brockers with his 2nd.
And I think if there is one criticism of Kaepernick's game, it's this. He locks in on his #1 intended receiver. Right there. He's thinking for Bolden, it's not there. You got to be able to go to your #2 or your #3. Bolden, it looks like he's there, but Laurinaitis did a great job of taking away his initial look. You've got to be able to go through that progression, find your other receivers. Sometimes his head goes down.
San Francisco 3 of 5 on 3rd down. This Crabtree bottom of your screen with the flashy gold shoes. Over the middle. Bolden wide open. Inside the 5. 1st down. $16-yard gain to Anquan Bolden, who's been Kaepernick's top target today.
Now, this would make Bill Walsh happy. One of the tenets of the 49ers old West Coast system. Throw the ball underneath, let your receivers do the damage with the yards after the catch. Colin Kaepernick has his first read, and he finds him, and Anquan Bolden gets up for the 1st down.
Bolden's having a big day. He's had a couple of them for San Francisco. And a 1st and goal. Gore. Touchdown. Flags fly again. But this one well after the play, as Frank Gore, in his 15th game against the Rams, has his 15th touchdown against the Rams.
After the touchdown, personal foul. Offense number 68. That penalty being forced on the kickoff. Touchdown is good.
You see Kilgore, and you're going to watch the block of Kilgore clearing space. Frank Gore gets right behind his fullback, Bruce Miller. Frank Gore's so good at this, getting low and driving those legs. And then here's Adam Snyder coming through the pile and finishing the block, and the officials all over it, trying not to let this game get out of hand. The officials are throwing a lot of flags, but these players are earning it.
Frank Gore's 8th rushing touchdown of the year. Dawson on for the extra point. And San Francisco is dominating St. Louis. 6:15 to go in the 1st half. Rams haven't helped themselves with all the penalties, too. 7 of them. 49ers in control. 13-0 in the 2nd.
You know, they're playing a lot more on offense.
Well, Jim Harbaugh, a little upset over that personal foul penalty, I'm guessing anyway. There's not much else for him to be upset about because the 49ers are dominating 13-0. Chris Long, you know, his defense been on the field quite a bit today. So the 15-yard penalty after Frank Gore's touchdown assessed on the kickoff. Dawson's kickoff now, and Austin will have a good returnable kick from the 20. And the Niners have done a nice job to tackle him. Well, penalties are a huge issue so far. 7 on the Rams. Mike Pereira joins us now from L.A. Mike, this game has been ultra chippy. What are you seeing back from L.A.?
Yeah, you know, I'll tell you, it was chippy from the first snap, and I've been a part of these games, and they are difficult to keep control. And the only way that you can do it is by throwing penalty flags. And I get frustrated just like everybody does you because, you know, you say that the foul shouldn't be called, but they're trying to keep control here, and they'll keep throwing these flags until they get it under control.
Mike, appreciate you checking in there, and especially with what happened as Stacy gets to carry a good run on 1st down. He's got 6, especially with what we showed, you know, before when they were at midfield for this game before it even started. The Niners took their pregame huddle purposely across midfield. I mean, they did it subtly, John, but there was a message sent there.
Well, meeting with both teams, and you know the history, 2 overtime battles last year. You just know these teams don't like each other. They're playing in the best division. They pride themselves on physicality. You got to play smart, though, and you hurt your team when you do stupid things and go past the whistle, through the whistle, and both teams have done it.
Trying to get the run game going. Not much for Stacy. First downs. That should tell the story. San Francisco with 13 of them. St. Louis with 1. Here's 30 minutes before kickoff.
You could see it was just a pot boiling, and we've seen it come to fruition on the field. But you look at this third down situation for the St. Louis Rams. Better situation, 3rd and 4. They've been in a lot of 3rd and 7s and 3rd and 8s. With the first down run by Stacy, this is manageable. This is what they've been living in, the Rams, the last couple of weeks, having scored 80 points in the last 2 games.
Rams split Stacy, the running back, top of your screen. Blitz coming, and they hit Austin, who catches it right around the marker. I think he's going to have enough for a first down. Dante Whitner got there first.
This is what you know playing the 49ers. You may catch it, you're going to get hit. And going to be interesting to see if that spot is challenged by Jim Harbaugh. Forward progress, but I'm not so sure that ball. Remember, the yellow line is not official. But to me, he gets possession right there, and it may be behind. Jim Harbaugh chooses not to challenge it.
I think it's too dicey to waste a challenge on. They're too precious. Now first down, a lot of time. Clemens going to air it out for Austin deep down the field. That's to Nowheresville, and it's Reed who drops it. Oh, Reed had it, but I think the sun played a factor there. There it is.
Well, great shot. Eric Reed playing center field. He's got a fair catch, basically. He can't bring it in, and I've been in those situations that fighting that sun. Now in baseball, you can put your offhand up and catch it with your glove. Can't do that in football, but Eric Reed's going to be kicking himself on that one. Could have had his 4th interception on the season.
You know, I was down on that part of the field earlier, just before the game, and that sun was brutal. Stedman barely in the game in motion. Instead, they go on the ground and have a first down to Benny Cunningham, who had a big second half last week. Let's get a game break with Kurt Menefee.
The Minnesota Vikings go to overtime for the 2nd straight week, only this time they end it with a victory. 34-yarder from Blair Walsh knocks off the Bears 23-20 in OT. Kevin, John, and Molly.
Tell you who's happy about that, the Lions, as they're in first place all by themselves. It's a big loss for Chicago.
Chicago kind of fading. You see the penalty yards, 60, total yards, 57, but the Rams are getting going on this drive.
Sticking with the run, and Stacy, a gain of 1.5. We saw Cunningham in. Jeff Fisher told us about these 2 rookies, Cunningham and Stacy. You could switch the jerseys on their back. That's how similar they are. They're power runners. They both come on for this Rams team.
One's 5'8", 224, Zach Stacy. One's 5'10", and 217. To me, those were the toughest backs to play against, because they say in football, low man wins. Well, they've won that battle already when you're standing 6'2", 6'4", and then they bounce off you. They're little bowling balls. They playing pinball. It's tough to tackle those guys.
Rams go with an unbalanced line. There's a reverse to Austin. Trying to get him in space, and Austin out near the first down. Whitner was there. Corey Harkey had a nice block out on the edge.
Each and every week, you see the unbalanced line over here to the left. You're going to make everyone think you're going to the left, and you bring Tavon Austin back to the right. He's been so explosive for the Rams. Each and every week, there's a new wrinkle as to how to get him involved, and that's Corey Harkey, who they call the unsung hero of their run game in St. Louis.
Listed as a tight end, but he plays like a strong fullback. First time, by the way, the Rams are in 49ers territory all day. Give it again to Stacy. This is their best drive of the day by far. He's down to the 30. Glenn Dorsey on the tackle, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning here at Candlestick Park. Anquan Boldin's had himself a big day, and the trash jockey's backing it up with the Rams on the move. 13-0 49ers. 2-minute warning. First time all day the Rams offense has kept the Niners offense off the field. I mean, the first 3 drives for St. Louis, 24 total yards. They've got 39 yards this drive. It's starting to look like an offense.
Well, offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer told us it could be ugly early. We've got to stick with our plan, which was to run the football. They've done it well on this series.
Tavon Austin in the slot. Clemens steps up and coming near side, incomplete. Got some pressure that time, but Givens, the receiver, slipped trying to come back to the ball. Now limping a little bit too. Looked like he caught himself maybe in the grass. I got to tell you, this field for December in San Francisco looked like it was in great shape today.
Beautiful. Chris Givens cutting off that inside foot. Going to get you every time. Got to cut off that right foot right there. Kellen Clemens looking at a 3rd and 6.
Have to get to the 24. Clemens throwing, looking for Pettis, incomplete. He wants a flag and he gets it. It's Carlos Rogers on the coverage. And that would indeed give St. Louis a first down.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 22, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Here's the matchup right there. Carlos Rogers on Pettis. We'll see. He gets his hands on him, and yes, he grabs him, restricts him. Good call by the back judge. A lot of flags, but as I said earlier, these players are earning them. A lot of contact, but a lot of legal contact.
It's a pretty enormous 25 yards. I mean, the 49ers have dominated this half. Rams down 13-0. They've got all 3 timeouts left. It could change the whole feeling going into halftime. They're sticking with the run with Stacy, who's got 3.
Kevin, you know what you see happening, and it's hard to do against this 49er defense because they're so stout and big up front, but they're starting to move that and win that line of scrimmage. Speaking of the Rams offensive line, Jake Long, Scott Wells at the center position, Roger Saffold at the right guard. This group has been outstanding of late and starting to impose their will a little bit.
Remember, we showed you that son. Eric Reed could have had an interception that would have stopped this drive. Good spin by Stacy, but Aldon Smith there to cover him up. I think there's no gain, maybe a yard on that play. Clock winding to 1:10. I think the Rams called their first timeout. They do. We'll take a break. 1:10 left and a big 3rd down coming up. Here's the play that Reed missed. Sun in his eyes, but could have stopped this Rams drive. Well, the dueling minds, Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator for the Rams on the left, and Vic Fangio behind the dungeon door on the right, high atop Candlestick Park. And now a big 3rd down with the 49ers up 13-0, 1:10 to go in the half.
I love what Kellen Clemens said about this 49er D early in the week. If you can find a weakness, please let me know, because I don't see it. And you got Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman as a quarterback sitting there staring you in the eye from 3 yards away.
1 for 4 on 3rd down are the Rams. They got to get to the 15. Pressure. Clemens in trouble. Gets out of Smith's grasp. Down he goes. He eluded Justin Smith, but Navarro Bowman dragged him down. And the Rams will have to settle for a field goal try.
And Justin Smith, they call him the cowboy, and sometimes the things he does, the demonstration of strength. Watch him against Jake Long. That's Jake Long, a former #1 pick. He just picks him up and walks him back to Kellen Clemens. And then Kellen Clemens somehow gets out of there, but there's Navarro Bowman. That's what Kellen Clemens is talking about. There is no weakness in this 49er D. They come to play.
Meanwhile, San Francisco has called their 2nd timeout of the half with 59 seconds to go. So they're looking to have a little time. For an update what's coming up at the halftime show, let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
Coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, we'll have highlights from all the big games in the NFL, including... Guys, what's going on in the control room?
Camera 1, take 1. Yeah. Camera 2, take 2. No, make it 3, make it 3. What camera's his good side? He don't have a good side. Camera 4. Camera.
We'll have the highlights, the Visa Halftime.
poised to perfection here. We've got Artie Kempner on the controls, John Howard as the TD, and the great Pete Macheska, who's trying to reel it all in. And that's kind of what it looks like in the truck during these games.
Stick to your day jobs, TB and Jimmy.
Rams trying to get on the board. Greg Zuerlein from 43 yards out. And right down the middle is Zuerlein. Rams get on the scoreboard, cutting the Niners lead to 10, but San Francisco has a little time left, 54 seconds. Truth to the rumor you're going out for. I mean, you've had some pretty good pipes. I know you've got it in you.
I am a closet American Idol watcher, though. The Lynch family, that's one thing we do watch.
Colin Kaepernick, almost very quietly, has put together a very good half throwing the football.
Well, he's coming off his career passer rating day against the Washington Redskins, 133 passer rating versus the Redskins. Kaepernick, when we visit him this week, says they've been spending extra time on the pass game. They know, as everybody else knows, they can win games, but when you play the big boys, the Seattle Seahawks of the world, you better be able to run it and throw it, and they haven't thrown it well this season.
Zuerlein will kick it off, and this is deep and not going to be returned by LaMichael James. 49ers with 54 seconds left in the half, one timeout. Playoff picture looking like this. Huge tilt, Seattle tomorrow night, Seahawks and Saints. Lions get the win over Green Bay Thanksgiving, and then huge news with the Bears lost today.
It's always so fun this time of year. You see that in the hunt list continue to grow. And Carolina has really come on as a football team. I tell you what's fun to watch. People talk about Cam Newton, but that defense, they are playing some serious football in Carolina.
By the way, the Jimmy Johnson 12th man on the pregame today, I fell off my bed laughing. That was phenomenal. Hear from those guys in a few as a big run by Kendall Hunter, who's in the game, and a late penalty flag back at the line of scrimmage. That might be coming back.
Holding. Offense number 78. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
It's going to be Joe Looney at the right guard. He comes in at right guard because Alex Boone shifts over to left tackle for Joe Staley. And there it is, a fistful of jersey.
So 46 seconds to go. They take him out. Daniel Kilgore comes back in. So when the Niners are literally down to their last offensive lineman standing with all the injuries and all the rotations, and Kilgore, number 67, is now in the game. So the injuries will do to you. They're going to hand off here. Are you so surprised by this? With one timeout left, just want to be conservative?
I think once they got the penalty and backed up, they made a decision. Let's go to halftime, regroup. We got a 10-point lead, and Jim Harbaugh happy with that. And I think they knew this was going to be a fierce defensive battle, both sides. I sensed that when we talked to both coaches. And Harbaugh happy to go to half, ahead by 10.
And play clock at a little 1 second behind the game clock, so they don't even have to run one more play. We will go to the break at Candlestick with the 49ers up on the Rams 13-3. It's been physical. There's been some penalties, some big plays as well. We'll be back from Candlestick. Niners with a 10-point lead. Chippy first half in San Francisco. Jeff Fisher trying to rally the troops. The 49ers in front of the Rams 13-3. We get set for the third quarter. Remember, you can follow your favorite team all year long on iTunes. Just go to itunes.com/NFL. Gorgeous day here in San Francisco. John Lynch, Kevin Burkhardt. John, This game kind of was teetering on the 49ers kind of running away with it, but the Rams, even though they only got a field goal, kind of feel like it kept them in the game here.
Well, and offensively, they got it going. They started controlling the line of scrimmage on that last drive. I think they've got to feel good about that. They've got a head coach who's going to keep them even-keeled. What they got to do is stop hurting themselves with the penalties. If they can stay in this game, as Michael and Howie were alluding to during the halftime, they can take advantage of that offensive line of the 49ers. Being injured with Staley Upati, who didn't play today. And Colin Kaepernick, on the other hand, he started finding that passing rhythm late in that first half.
And the Rams won the toss, got the ball first, so the Niners will take it here to start the second half, and Zuerlein kicks it to the end line. Let's check in with Molly on the field.
Thanks, Kevin. I talked to Jim Harbaugh at the half, and you mentioned those injuries. He said that he's confident that Joe Staley's injury is not going to affect his team in the second half. He said he has full faith in Joe Loney, the replacement for him, and he wants to really keep that passing game going, and he said that it's crucial to get Michael Crabtree more involved in this second half. Kevin?
Crabtree in his season debut coming back from that Achilles injury. 1 catch for 8 yards. He's actually got more penalties than catches so far today, but he's actually played a decent amount, trying to work him back into this offense. 49ers will start it on their own 20. Gore, it's shoved backwards, nowhere to go, as Ogletree, the rookie from Georgia, makes the tackle. Good first half for Colin Kaepernick. He couldn't get the run game going too much, but he found Anquan Boldin quite a bit.
That first play, you got to love it by 2 rookies on this Rams defense. Here comes Ogletree, and then T.J. McDonald coming supporting like his daddy did here in San Francisco. The great Tim McDonald, now an assistant coach for the New York Jets. Great 49er safety.
Kaepernick throws on second and complete, looking for Boldin. Ogletree was there on the coverage. You know, you look at Jeff Fisher in his second year, and what you have seen, considering the fact that starting quarterback Bradford went down, they have really come on. They've shown you some positive signs, and when you look at that, with all the youth that is here, it's encouraging, and that's why this is such a big measuring stick for them today.
Absolutely. Les Snead, the general manager, Jeff Fisher have done a tremendous job of bringing in young players, but you better be talented if you're going to be young, and they are just that. A host of rookies that are really contributing at a high level for this football team.
On 3rd and 12, it's a 4-man rush. They fire it over the middle to Boldin, and Anquan Boldin is going to be shy of a first down. So the Rams D making a quick statement and holds the Niners to a 3-and-out.
Did a tremendous job on first down, limiting the run with Frank Gore, and then got back, allowed the ball in front of them, and then went up and tackled. And here comes Tavon Austin. You talk about explosive. As a punt returner, he is deadly.
A couple weeks ago against the Colts, he had a 98-yard return for a touchdown. Andy Lee. A good punt. Austin, fair catch, no chance to return. Rams, though, with good field position up around their own 36-yard line. Late flag here. So let's see what this was about. It fits in with the game, doesn't it? I mean, this has been all about the penalties, especially on the Rams, who've had 7 of them. The 49ers had 6 in their own right. They had a few on that last Rams drive. Looks like C.J. Spillman and Brandon McGee were getting into it on that punt.
After the play was over, personal foul. Kicking team number 27. 15-yard penalty. St. Louis keeps the ball. First down.
That is on Spillman, and so the Rams with terrific field position now.
And here they are, the gunner at the top of the screen, Spillman. And remember, it's always the second guy. He gets a shot early. And here's the other side, Janoris Jenkins working against Kasim Osgood. Physical game, you can't let it get overly personal and hurt your team with fouls.
Tim Barnes is in at center for the Rams, replacing the Pro Bowler Scott Wells, who's got to be hurt. Clemens going to throw on first down. He's got a completion and a first down at Givens. So Scott Wells, the former Packer, real good center, is out to start this second half. Barnes is the snapper right now.
Kevin, we just saw Kellen Clemens deliver a nice football to Chris Givens. And you look at his numbers at halftime, 3 of 9. Deceiving numbers. Remember, Jared Cook, a couple of drops there. Those numbers could have been much better. Kellen Clemens, as he has been since he's taken over, very much in command.
Chance to get this Rams team right back in the game. Go back to the run with Zach Stacy. Fighting forward, still on his feet, and he takes it down to the 30 for a gain of 5 yards. Let's check in with Molly.
Thanks, Kevin. I talked to Jeff Fisher at the half, and he said the biggest threat to the Rams is Colin Kaepernick's legs with the read option and Anquan Boldin. He said they're going to focus on that in the second half, and you can already see from that last 49ers possession that they're taking that very seriously. Kevin?
Well, that 3 and out is a good start for them, but now they need the offense to continue what they're doing. And now the last couple drives, they've come to life. 2nd and 5, it's Zach Stacy. John, you hit it at the beginning of the broadcast. So Brian Schottenheimer said it may look ugly. Got to stay with this run, though, to stay in this game.
Well, good for him for having the discipline to do it, because this is it's tough sledding running the football against this 49ers defense. He knew it may be tough. Their game plan was to try to get some movements on the big guys. 52 and 53. Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman are going to make a lot of tackles. But hopefully they go from 1 and 2 yards to 6 and 7 yards, and we're starting to see that happen.
It's a big 3rd and 3 for St. Louis. Clemens going to fire, caught by Austin for a first down, and the rookie from West Virginia gets open, moves it down to the 21, and keeps the drive going.
You got to love that by Tavon Austin. 5'8", 176. Nasty things happen in there, but you can't be afraid. You got to be willing to go into that fire. Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis. Tavon Austin does just that and then gets down. Smart move.
Rams with Benny Cunningham in the game at running back, another rookie. And they line him up at wide receiver to the top of your screen. Empty backfield. Interesting look. That's why they're going to give it to Austin, who's looking to throw it. He's got a man, but he is off target. Well, that play looked good, as Pettis was the guy who broke free, but Austin's throw was not good.
Well, they've got a little line of plays off this toss action. A couple weeks ago, it was the toss. Last week, it was the toss and counter back. Every week, it's something new. Here's the toss pass, and a great play by Whitner. Getting upfield, penetration kills those type of plays. And a smart play by Tavon Austin throwing the football away.
Yeah. Whitner got in his face rather than make the errant throw. Throws it away, even though Pettis did break free there. So instead of 2nd and 10. Stacy left side, not much. Give him 2. John, you call the Rams right now. They're in phase 2.
And phase 2 means after their first game against the 49ers, Jeff Fisher said, we have too much talent. We aren't getting it done. Back to the basics, men. We're going to start running the football, and boy, have they. 31 attempts per game since then, 152 yards, explosive runs. The points have gone up, turnovers gone down. It's been a great recipe. Now the challenge is do it against the 49ers.
They have 15 rushing attempts for 57 yards today. Here, though, passing down on 3rd and 8. Play clock at 1, and they're not going to get it off.
Delay game. Offense number 10. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
John, Kelvin Clemens, since the last drive, keeps walking over to the sideline, kind of not all the way, but to get the play. I wonder if there's an issue with his helmet, or if that's...
Sometimes the communication system can go down.
I mean, I think that was a reason for that delay game there. Now it puts him at 3rd and 13. Got to get to the 11. And a draw to Stacy. Nice cutback. The Niners cover it up. He's down to the 16. And at the very least, the field goal here would make it a touchdown game.
I think a smart play there. You play for the points, making it a one-score game against this 49er defense. You got Aldon Smith coming at you. You got Ahmad Brooks coming at you. Justin Smith. Hit the little quick hitter. Get it in field goal position. That's just what the Rams do.
This is Zuerlein from 34 yards. Johnny Hekker, the punter, is the holder. And Zuerlein is perfect. 2 for 2 today. And so the Rams, within a touchdown, they put a nice drive together. 13-6, San Francisco in the third. James Laurinaitis, the leader of this defense, 5 tackles so far. And the momentum, which the 49ers clearly had through a quarter and a half of this game, it's even now, even though the Niners have the touchdown lead.
Well, we talked about at halftime, if the Rams can just stay in this game. Well, they took a step closer with that field goal, and now it's incumbent upon Colin Kaepernick to get this offense going.
Zuerlein will kick it off. This is returnable for James. Good cutback and a good return for LaMichael James out to the 23. Ray Armstrong on the tackle. Now the Rams, who are hanging around, will turn it over to their defense. 49ers in front by a touchdown. Rams defense held the Niners to a 3-and-out on their opening possession of the third quarter. And now San Francisco has it back. The sun on just a perfect day. Temperatures around 65 in the Bay Area. Colin Kaepernick and company with a 7-point lead. It has a completion and a big one for a first down to Bruce Miller.
And that's a great job by Colin Kaepernick. We talked earlier, his strength maybe not being going through progression. Well, watch him. He's going to look left to Crabtree. They flip the coverage. They go to a cover 2 press corner look. He goes to his second, now to his third read, finds his fullback. That is progression passing at its best by Colin Kaepernick.
And Bruce Miller with 17 receptions on the year. That's a career high for him. Play fake, pressure coming. Kaepernick eludes on the run. Nice grab, Vernon Davis. And he's forced out of bounds right around the 35, maybe the 36. And Davis is hurt. 22-yard gain of Vernon Davis as Kaepernick navigated the pocket well, but this is certainly concerning.
See Vernon Davis behind those 49er linebackers. TJ McDonald close. And TJ McDonald gets a hold, maybe where he shouldn't be getting a hold of.
Concern for Vernon Davis. We'll be back to Candlestick. Viewers, shield your eyes. It's not a good place to be hit there, and Vernon Davis will be fine.
He'll be back. He might be singing soprano.
Good news is it's nothing serious. He'll be back. You want to get back in the huddle, but you got to go out and play when you're injured. Derek Carrier is in there, 46. Kaepernick back to throw. Pressure from Quinn, looking for Miller, but he had to get that one away. Robert Quinn, the NFC's leading sack leader, was on his tail. And Davis right back in there, so Niners fans can breathe a little bit easier. Never be without football. Get coverage of every NFL game on NFL Mobile. Call Star NFL to download it right now. Colin Kaepernick has seemed like he's been in pretty good control today. 13 of 19, 166 yards. Hasn't forced anything. Has run it a couple times for 22 yards. He's got a 2nd and 10. Quinn jumped, but they didn't snap it.
I think this is one of the things underappreciated about Kaepernick. All the work he does at the line of scrimmage, getting them in the right play.
It's Bolden for his 7th reception and a first down to Anquan Bolden. 11-yard pickup, John.
On that specific play, he sees the cornerback off of Anquan Bolden. You watch Frank Gore right here, renowned for his pass protection. Gets up, steps up on James Laurinaitis. Kaepernick diagnoses the off coverage. That's easy money for he and Anquan Bolden.
Anquan Boldin, 8 catches, 84 yards. He had 13 catches week 1 in his 49er debut. Anthony Dixon in the game at tailback. He'll get it. And nowhere to run. Jolan Dunbar was there to blow it up. You know, we talked to Kaepernick the other day, and, you know, sometimes you see his perception around here. He could be short with the media, and I got to tell you, he was fun to meet with. He was relaxed, and I asked him what he thinks he's gotten better at. He said overall control of the offense. What does he mean by that?
Well, he means understanding of not only the offense but the defense and where to go in certain situations. This offense that Jim Harbaugh, Greg Roman implement, sometimes they go up to the line of scrimmage with 3 different plays, and it's on him to put them in the right play. He's got a much better understanding of the entirety of all that this system asks him to do.
On second down, here comes Chris Long. Kaepernick buys time, throws on the run. He's got Boldin. First down, out of bounds at the 11-yard line. It's a gain of 14.
We talk about Colin Kaepernick, but one thing he told me about Anquan Boldin, such a smart football player. He knows the soft spot in every coverage. And Kaepernick, we talked about the strong arm, sidearm, and slings it to Anquan Boldin. And the smile by Colin Kaepernick.
9 catches, 98 yards for Anquan Boldin. 49ers can get a first down at the 1. Here's Gore. Breaks through, and he's down. I'm going to mark him down about the 6.
Kevin, this is where you start to see, as I said in the open, a playoff team taking shape. If you get balance in this offense, the ability to throw it, and then you've got the ability to mash people with Frank Gore, watch out the rest of the league, because that defense is for real. This offense, extremely successful, but now adding the balance. And that's dangerous.
That's Daniel Kilgore. They don't have a wide receiver on the play. They're going to run it. And a short gain, Chris Long pounced up from his defensive end position to get Gore after a 1-yard gain, and so a third down.
Well, one thing, they go into their football in a phone booth with Chris Long, and you better block Chris Long. They try to leave Vernon Davis on Chris Long. That's a mismatch, and he gets in there and eats up Dixon. Chris Long doing a terrific job closing down and making the tackle.
Third down. 49ers can get a first down inside the 2. And we get a flag.
False start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Watch Laurinaitis. He's going to enter your screen. And the 49ers were arguing that's what drew Anthony Davis, but Laurinaitis did not cross the line of scrimmage, so that clearly is on Anthony Davis.
Well, that changes the equation a little bit, moves it back to a 3rd and 9. Yeah, it's been that kind of game. That's Boldin in motion. Crabtree also in left side. Kaepernick throws it to Gore over the middle, and the Rams play it well. Alec Ogletree, the rookie from Georgia, and Brockers really messed things up, and now a field goal try.
What a play by Michael Brockers. They try to slip it to Frank Gore in here. They're going to hide him out in the middle, and watch Brockers. He's going to come and emerge from the middle and get a hand on Frank Gore. He may go for a touchdown. That's just tremendous awareness by the big fella, Michael Brockers.
24-yard field goal try for Phil Dawson. And Dawson puts it up and through. He's got 16 in a row for the 49ers, who add to their lead. They go back up by 10. Rams hold them to a field goal, but the 49ers in front 16-6. Carolina Panthers have won 8 straight. Cam Newton 2 touchdowns passing, 1 receiving. The Eagles remain red hot. Nick Foles 3 more touchdowns, no picks. He's now got 19 touchdowns, no interceptions on the year. Those are the big headlines from early on in this game. Final season at Candlestick Park. Niners have played here since 1971. Greatest of all time, Jerry Rice in the house. Well, the final season at Candlestick Park, and it was originally built for the Giants, who came here first in 1960. But you've seen so many terrific things. The final concert by the Beatles, Pope John Paul here, Bill Walsh with 5 Super Bowls total. And you think about some of the playoff games here. I mean, you've had the catch part 2 and the catch part 3.
There's the end zone that the catch by Dwight Clark occurred.
Rams going with the run game, trying to stay on the ground. Let's get a game break with Tony Girardetti.
Well, the Denver Broncos are doing the comeback thing, if you will. Peyton Manning hooking up with Eric Decker. 37-yard touchdown. Decker's second of the game. And they're all tied with the Chiefs in KC in the third quarter. Kevin, John, and Molly.
That was so great. I called Kurt Tony Girardetti because he made the tackle. Kurt, you want to come and play the second half?
Thanks, Tony.
Oh, boy. Second down for Kellen Clemens, who's in trouble but eludes. Trying to stay on his feet. Now he's going to tuck it and run and keeps that play alive. And Kurt Menefee, I mean Tony Girardetti there on the stop.
And I tell you what, that's one of the things that the Rams have come to realize with Kellen Clemens is his ability to extend plays. Dan Skuta looks like he has a hold of him. He keeps his eyes downfield, nothing there. So go get some positive yards. Next thing you know, you're in a 3rd and short, and there's Jim Harbaugh with his cleats on. He's got 7 studs, ladies and gentlemen. That's an old ball coach.
Maybe Jim Harbaugh and Kurt Menefee are playing in the second half. 3rd and short. They're going to throw it. Blitz picked up. Clemens hit as he throws, but he has a drop. Oh, you've got to catch that ball, Chris Givens. And we got a couple Rams that are hurt on the play. Jake Long, Zach Stacy, both laying on the grass.
And I tell you what, I liked the call by Brian Schottenheimer. 3rd and 1, they're blitzing. Go ahead and take it down the field. And they had an opportunity. Chris Givens in his hands. Ball needs to be caught. Kellen Clemens again puts it on the money. And those are the type of plays you have to make to beat a team like the 49ers on the road. The 3rd drop today by this Rams offense. You see the injury. Dante Whitner blitzing, and Jake Long and Zach Stacy go helmet to helmet on each other.
Boy, oh boy. So the 49ers lost their tackle, Joe Staley, earlier in the game with a knee issue. Isn't coming back, and long-term concern for him too. And now here's the Rams left tackle Jake Long. Here's some of the headlines from the early games. Told you about the Panthers red hot. Cam Newton, couple touchdowns passing and a touchdown on the ground. Nick Foles, another big day. And Alshon Jeffrey with that monster day receiving. But the Vikings won in overtime to knock Chicago back of the Lions in the NFC North. As Jake Long did move his hands, so we do know that. But he's laying face first.
There it is there, right there. Ooh. That's vicious. Zach Stacy coming on the blitz pickoff, but Jake Long blocking. And you see them lock heads, and see Jake Long right away. That stings him.
And now you're seeing just NFL protocol. Anytime there's any concern to the head or neck area, they're going to take every precaution with him. Now you see his arms and hands moving, so that's obviously good, but they're going to do everything here and do this right with Long. Why they tend to Jake Long, and Chris Long, no relation, looks on. Here at Candlestick. And they do sit Long up now, but they continue to look at Jake Long. Let's check back in with Kurt.
Yeah, certainly a scary moment there. We'll update you as to what's going on in Canada as Buffalo and the Falcons are playing in Toronto. This is Fred Jackson out of the backfield, 21-yard touchdown reception. And that game's all even at 24 late in the third quarter. Back to you guys in San Francisco, Kevin and John.
Kurt, thanks. Good news. Jake Long walking off, and nice job by the crowd. They give him a nice hand.
And that's what you got to love about football. During that break, it's been a chippy game all day long. Both head coaches, Jim Harbaugh, went out there to the injured Jake Long. He and Jeff Fisher conferred, and so in the midst of an intense and chippy battle, those guys understand the gravity of a situation like that, and thank goodness it looks like Jake Long's A-OK.
So the Rams will punt. Meanwhile, you think about this. That play that Givens couldn't make, drops the ball, but if he catches that, it's a touchdown. Everybody had fallen down for San Francisco. This is a 4th and short. But they will punt it away with Heckers at a good day kicking. And LaMichael James will call a fair catch. Saturday, the Big Ten Championship on Fox as 3rd-ranked Ohio State takes on 11th-ranked Michigan State. See which team will earn an automatic bid to a BCS bowl game. Our coverage Big Ten Championship next Saturday, 7:30 Eastern, only on Fox. Certainly has national title implications on the line as well, with Ohio State now door wide open with Alabama's loss to Auburn. Gus Johnson, Charles Davis, Christina Pink will be there for that one. And now the 49ers up by 10, 16-6, minute 56 to go in the third quarter. Here's Frank Gore. The Rams done a good job against Gore all day long. Gain of 3. He's got 35 yards on the day.
You know, we talked about early in this game, Joe Staley going out, and Alex Boone, their normal right guard, their starting right guard, had to shift out to left tackle against one of the best defensive ends in football in Robert Quinn. Robert Quinn, I don't know if he's on the stat sheet right now. Alex Boone has done a fine job in relief of Joe Staley.
Quinn just 1 tackle, so he's just on, and that is an impressive job. Rams come with the blitz. Kaepernick sees it, and Janoris Jenkins read it, got his hands on it.
And that is a big-time football play, because this back shoulder fade that we see so often, it's so hard to cover. But Jenkins plays in to Anquan Bolden, then locates the football without contact, goes and makes the play. Excellent football play by Janoris Jenkins.
Jenkins, who had 4 defensive touchdowns last year. It's a 3rd and 7. Michael Crabtree, just 1 catch in his debut, top of your screen. Kaepernick looking for him, and he's got him! Crabtree still on his feet! Crabtree with the dance, and he's inside the 20. Welcome back, Michael Crabtree. A 60-yard gain.
Well, welcome back is right, but first of all, again, you got to applaud Alex Boone on Robert Quinn. He runs him by, and what a ball. The double move by Michael Crabtree. Kaepernick puts it on him, and this is what Michael Crabtree, the added dimension Michael Crabtree brings to the 49ers that makes them so dangerous, and you gotta love that. Happy to be back from the torn Achilles is Michael Crabtree.
Second longest play of the season for the 49ers, who have to call a timeout. Play clock was running down, and they were nowhere near getting ready to run a play. Boy, that is a sight for 49ers fans everywhere to see that from him. Didn't know what to expect today. You knew he was healthy. He's been practicing, but I think that shows you a lot.
And I just, I mentioned earlier, they run the ball so effectively and so often. Those type of situations are going to be there for them. And that's what Michael Crabtree will do. It will back people off. It will back defenses off of this offense. Give them some room to breathe with.
Here's the last 2 years for the 49ers. Crabtree and Manningham led the way last year. Bolden and Davis, they've really carried almost the entire load in the pass game, but now Manningham's getting healthier, even though he hasn't been a factor today, and Crabtree with his debut. What a difference.
And that's a strong complement of targets for Colin Kaepernick. And that's what I'm speaking of, a force to be reckoned with when they have balance in this offense.
From the 20. Again, a lot of time, and this time knocked away. Looking for Bolden, but that time is Tremaine Johnson with the knockdown in the secondary.
Well, they aren't doubling Anquan Bolden because they can't, because they got Crabtree and Vernon Davis to deal with. That's a good play. He goes with both hands, and if you go with both hands, you better make the play, because if not, it's a touchdown. Tremaine Johnson nearly intercepts it for the St. Louis Rams.
Candlestick eerily quiet, letting the Niners offense operate. Up by 10, maybe the final play of the third quarter. Read option and Frank Gore muscling forward. Down, and the ball's out, and the Rams have got it. Football is out of there, and the Rams recover. And Rodney McLeod came out a pile of dust with the ball. And hold on, let's see. Was Gore indeed down?
It's Ogletree. He is not down. The ball is loose, and Ogletree, who stripped and caused a fumble from Frank Gore in game one of these two teams. Alec Ogletree, the outstanding rookie, number 30 pick in the draft, and that's a clean fumble picked up by McLeod. What a play by Ogletree.
Huge play in the first turnover of the game. It's been chippy with penalties, but there's been no turnovers until now. And just when it looked like the Niners after the big play to Crabtree,
The ruling on the field as a fumble has been confirmed. First down, St. Louis.
just like it looked like they were about to really take command by the Rams with a timely turnover.
That's why you keep playing as a defense. You keep fighting, and you think on that long pass, I believe it was McLeod who came over and got Crabtree down. Well, that allows you to live to see another down. And Jim Harbaugh says, come on, but he doesn't have the luxury of seeing it in slow motion. Jim, it was a fumble.
Probably the last play of the third quarter here. You give to Stacy on the run, and still fighting forward for a gain of 2. That'll take us to the end of 3 at Candlestick. The Rams get the turnover. They've got to overcome a 10-point deficit, though, as the 49ers in front, 16-6. We start the fourth quarter. The 49ers up on the Rams 16-6, but St. Louis has caused a big turnover. Frank Gore fumbled. They pick it up, and it's their football, down 10 with a second down. Four-man rush. Clemens going to air it out deep, looking for Tavon Austin, trying to adjust. Can't get back. No flags. Tremaine Brock on the coverage.
That's excellent coverage by Tremaine Brock. You got a flat-out speedster in Tavon Austin. Brock goes and legally impedes the progress of Austin. People say, well, he's not turning his head. Doesn't have to. Good play by Tremaine Brock.
Rams 2 of 8 on third down today.
Roger Saffold comes in at left tackle. Going to be blocking Aldon Smith.
Clemens fires incomplete. Looking for Stedman Bailey. Was a little underthrown. And the Rams cannot convert after the Gore fumble. They go 3 and out.
49er defense so solid. They make you fight for every yard. Justin Smith leads them. There's Glenn Dorsey. They just keep coming at you. Aldon Smith, Dante Whitner in the back. Those two linebackers, Willis and Navarro Bowman, they are deep. They're talented. It's a big-time defense.
They're going to run a fake, and now the play gets botched. They're in trouble, and that is a huge play. They tried to get it to Stedman Bailey, but he got bumped off his route, and now there's some tempers flaring and all kinds of shoving going on down there. But the bottom line is the Niners will take over on the 17 of St. Louis.
Jeff Fisher told us they had something. As the jawing goes on, they had something in the tank on special teams with Stedman Bailey. Well, there it is. They bring him in motion as the gunner, trying to get a reverse, but Anthony Dixon, number 24 right there, he gets upfield, and Giordano, you talk about setting the edge. Well, here's a running back setting the edge. He's going to intercept the reverse. Giordano has nothing to do but hold on to the football. Tremendous special teams play by Anthony Dixon.
That is such a big play, because I got to tell you, if Bailey gets that without a hitch, he's got a huge game.
Gutsy call by the St. Louis Rams, and it turns out to backfire on him. We'll see now if San Francisco can capitalize and blow this game open.
It's a 10-point 49er lead. 14:41 to go from Candlestick. From the 17, Kaepernick has a lot of time. He's going to fire it. He's got Vernon Davis. Nice cut inside. He leaps into the end zone. Vernon Davis is hurdling everybody. Touchdown, San Francisco. John, you ever see a tight end jump over two players in the same game?
I'm not so sure if I call him a tight end. He's a wide receiver who they happen to call a tight end, but you see the patience of Kaepernick. They take away his early read. He hangs, and then is a wise man to get it to Vernon Davis. What an athlete is Vernon Davis. There you see the patience. My goodness, over Janoris Jenkins.
Unbelievable. The 10th touchdown of the year for Vernon Davis. And after the fake punt goes awry, the Niners strike quickly. Kaepernick with the patience. And Vernon Davis shoots the hoop and scores. He's got the jumper. The Rams dejected. Well, the 49ers taking advantage of a couple of Rams miscues. And then they tried a fake punt, didn't work, and immediately they hit Vernon Davis, who keeps jumping over people today. He is just so ridiculously athletic. His 10th touchdown of the year, and the 49ers have opened up a big lead at 23-6.
Look at these two plays, Kevin. This is the 3rd and 1, where they're gutsy and they go after it. Chris Givens has it in his hands, can't bring it in. Would have been a huge play. In the next series, the Rams don't get the first down. They attempt to go for the fake. It's there if they can get it to number 12. But 24, Anthony Dixon, a backup running back, goes and gets it. And you see the dejection of the Rams in Chris Long.
Well, the Rams have a lot of work to do. Clemens on first down, and down he goes. Patrick Willis.
He is such a fine football player, is Patrick Willis. Kellen Clemens called him a predator, staring across from you. He's going to stay right here, and Zach Stacy tries to pick him up on the pass block. That's a mismatch. Patrick Willis eludes him and then finishes it on Kellen Clemens.
Patrick Willis told us on Friday, I love this type of game. We like to hit. I don't like the spread.
He said, we fit in the hit in his Southern.
Clemens backed up, coming near side, incomplete. And this San Francisco defense, it's the one thing about them, you know, why they've searched for their offensive game and waited for their guys to get healthy. Their defense, at least if you go by points per game, has actually been better this year than it was last year.
I think Vic Fangio, their defensive coordinator, does such a fine job. He knows he has tremendous football players. He comes from a blitzing background. We just saw a blitz. They don't do a whole lot of it. He lets these guys play because they're so good. It's here we are. We're not going to try to out-scheme you. We're not going to try to fool you. We're just going to beat you and beat you up. And Vic Fangio, great job of checking his ego at the door and letting his guys play.
3rd and 18. Clemens over the middle has a completion, and Cook gets belted at the 21. They're going to have to punt again. Got a game break. Checking in with Curt Menefee.
And a Manning shall lead them. Peyton with his 4th touchdown pass of the day, 3rd to Eric Decker, 40th on the season. They still only lead it by 7 right now in the 3rd quarter at Kansas City. Kevin and John.
Curt, thanks. Peyton Manning, you blink, they're down, and all of a sudden they're up. I mean, it's like butter. 28-21.
Did he just say 40th? That's unreal.
It's crazy. Rams will punt it away. And Michael James calling fair catch, catches it. This 49ers defense has held St. Louis to 118 total yards. And then they've gotten a great game from that man, Colin Kaepernick. Niners dominating. The talk about the demise of the 49ers passing game has been greatly exaggerated because Colin Kaepernick the last 2 weeks has found it. Look at those numbers. His highest rated game last week, and then today he's been terrific. A rating of 116.2. On first down, they're going to throw it, and far side Jenkins is there to knock it away. Jim Harbaugh is a guy who is certainly into the game. John, we sat down with him on Friday, and he is as animated in that meeting as he is during the game. You see many faces of Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, it's just hilarious. So intense. Could care less what anyone thinks about him. Tremendous football coach, though. That cannot be argued.
He wins, that's for sure. Frank Gore going backwards. Robert Quinn makes a stop. Got the play calling face on right now. And the specs. Well, we started the broadcast talking about this NFC West. Arizona lost today. 49ers in command here, looking to get a win. Stay in front of that wild card race along with Carolina. And for the Rams, a measuring stick, John. Done some good things today. As Gore is tackled by Laurinaitis, and they'll have to throw it out of here. And this game's not over yet, but I kind of tell you, this Rams team has been up and coming, a lot of young players, but they still got to climb the mountain a little bit as we look at the division.
The Rams not quite there yet, but you see the guys on top. They are there. Seattle, been outstanding all year. San Francisco seems like they're peaking right at the right time. Arizona falls to another big-time team in Philadelphia, and St. Louis falls short against the San Francisco 49ers. I think good things to come for St. Louis and for San Fran, who, as I mentioned, just really clicking on all cylinders at the right time of the year.
Tavon Austin. Great punt by Andy Lee. Breaks the initial tackle. Austin with that speed works it up to the 25-yard line. Anthony Dixon was there to help. You know, this division, think about where it was just a few years ago. Go back to 2008. Look at the records of the teams, the ranks of their defense. And now, I think it's the best division in the NFL.
I don't think that can be argued. And really, you go back to when these teams were all down. They all have new head coaches. Pete Carroll in Seattle, Jim Harbaugh in San Francisco, Bruce Arians doing a tremendous job down in Arizona, and Jeff Fisher. Some guys that can flat out coach. And credit to the owners in this division for going out and get some great leaders, and boy, they've put a good product on the field in each of these cities.
I mean, a couple years ago, the Seahawks won the division with 7 wins. They won a playoff game over the Saints, but it's really come a long way. And Clemens a little bit behind Gibbons. And think about this, the staying power. Seahawks are loaded. They've got a quarterback who's there, and he's there. This Niners team, obviously, they have more of a veteran group, but they are so solid all across the board, and a good young quarterback still developing. We know the Rams are the youngest team in the league, so much talent. And then the Cardinals with that defense, playmakers they have. I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere anytime soon either.
And I think the biggest question the Rams have, because they are talented without still the quarterback position.
Yes.
Kellen Clemens done a fine job filling in. Sam Bradford, really good quarterback, hasn't gone to that next level yet. They need him to make that step.
Zach Stacy with the run up the gut out to the 35. It's going to be an 11-yard gain.
You know, interesting talking about the St. Louis Rams. We talked about this phase 2, how they went back to running the football. As to how they arrived at that kind of spread scheme they were running, Brian Schottenheimer says, look, you go sign Jake Long, you draft Tavon Austin, you combine him with Sam Bradford and the other receivers and Jared Cook at tight end, you feel like we got to use these guys. But we got away from who we were. They got back to it, and it's proved fruitful for them until they ran into the Niners D today.
You mentioned Jake Long. We saw him go out a little while ago. He's being evaluated for concussion type symptoms, a head injury, so don't know if we'll see him the rest of the day as Stacy continues to get the carry. Well, Stacy and Benny Cunningham, the running backs, who the Rams really like a lot. They've each contributed. They have rookies all over the board, but that's, you're right, John, the one question that they don't know and won't get to answer this year with Bradford out for the year with the knee injury.
I really believe Bradford's got a lot of redeeming qualities. You see the rookies, Tavon Austin, Benny Cunningham, and Zach Stacy. Cunningham undrafted, Zach Stacy a 5th rounder, Tavon a 1st rounder that they gave up a lot to get, and they've all been productive for the St. Louis Rams. So a lot of bright things for them, but you got to have that quarterback position right.
Clemens has a man open and he overthrew Cook. There's still time here if the Rams can just get a quick score, but that's easier said than done against this Niners defense. They've been so stingy. They've only allowed 143 total yards.
They make you earn everything you get. And Kellen Clemens said it best. Try to find a weakness in that defense. I think if there's any, maybe at the cornerback position, but these guys have played good football today. Kept everything in front of them, which they all knew was key with this explosive Rams offense.
And Clemens just 1 of 6 this quarter. On 2nd down, dumps it off, and Stacy can't corral it, incomplete.
The last couple games where the Rams have been successful, remember, Kevin, they scored 80 points, and so they've been playing with leads. This is not how they're built. If you're going to that phase 2 where you're running the football and then taking play action shots, you can't get behind 23-6 because that formula doesn't work in this situation.
Picked a good first NFL game, that's for sure. 3rd and 10. Clemens steps into it, 1st down. He hits Stedman Bailey, the rookie from West Virginia. Keep the drive going.
Stedman Bailey's been active. He hasn't played a lot on offense this season. Only 2 catches coming in to today. But he's been out there quite often. His 2nd catch on the day. Really good execution by the Rams. Kellen Clemens to Stedman Bailey.
Still running it here with Stacy, and a couple of flags now flying from back in the secondary.
That usually is 12 men on the field when that many flags go up from the back end.
12 men, defense, 5-yard penalty, repeat 1st down.
There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Yeah, I really like the color coordination on your numbering there, John.
Well, that's my man Mongo downstairs. He hooks me up with those each and every week, and we appreciate it, Mongo.
Good color coordination. Mongo, by the way, is our nickname for Keith Dornellis, who does a fantastic job traveling all around the country, making your pictures look just like that.
First time I ever heard his name. I always call him Mongo.
I think Mongo sounds better. 1st and 5. Stacy spinning off the hit by Bowman, who does end up wrapping him up. Navarro Bowman just so solid. And, the one thing about Bowman, he's such an athlete, we know that, but he was a highly recruited point guard out of high school. I believe he played middle school basketball in Maryland with Kevin Durant. How about that?
Got some skills on the basketball court, but definitely has skills on the football field. Patrick Willis, a fine player. I'm not so sure Navarro Bowman isn't just as good and valuable to the 49ers.
Second and short. Clemens across the middle. He's got a first down and a big hit on Brian Quick, who holds on to the football. And the Rams putting together a nice drive here. Time is a factor, down 17 points.
Watch Dante Whitner. Wanted to change his name to Hittner. But that's how the NFL wants it. He lowered his target, stuck his shoulder in there. Good physical hit.
On first down, Clemens hit as he throws, incomplete. Clemens has been good with the footwork in the pocket, but he almost stepped into a sack that time.
Well, Tony Girard-Eddie was doing his best. Justin Smith carrying the offensive lineman back to Kellen Clemens. See Girard-Eddie right there carrying Shelley Smith, the backup right guard, back to Kellen Clemens. He's been under duress all day.
Second and 10. They try to set up the screen, and that goes nowhere. The man who was on the practice squad last year with a big tackle. He also did an update this afternoon for Fox. Guys, tell us it, John.
Well, I don't care where he came from, but he's playing some football right there. We saw him on the last play pressuring Kellen Clemens. Watch him right here diagnose the screen, then go chase it down. Smart football play. Then you got to finish it. He lays out and does just that.
Jim Harbaugh said of Tony Girard-Eddie, the football callus is getting thicker. Not sure what that means, but I think it was a compliment. Third down. Clemens can't connect with Givens. Jermaine Brock was there on the coverage, and now a fourth down. Well, I think you're down 17. You got to get 17 points some way or another. I don't know if there's such a long shot. I almost would think kick field goal here. What do you think, John?
I would think, because you make it a two-score game at that point, but and 4th and 11, particularly against this 49er defense, where they are in the red zone, tough sledding, finding the separation, the space to get it. But Jeff Fisher sends his offense right back out there.
Well, they've got to make it here to have any hope. 4th and 11. Blitz coming. Clemens keeping it alive. No one's open, and now he's got nothing.
Hey, that's really nice.
And the Rams will turn it over on downs. The 49ers get the football back with a 23-6 lead. The Rams have showed some promise, but they've got a way to go to match the Niners, who lead it by 17. What a shot.
It was beautiful.
49ers in control, 6:38 to go. Anthony Dixon gets the carry. He made arguably the biggest play of the game, and that was on special teams when he blew up a fake punt. And you see the chippiness coming back. It's been a factor here today.
Vernon Davis and Chris Long getting after it. As we said, no love lost.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 91. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
See at the end of the play, Anthony Davis going to continue to block, and Chris Long sees that, doesn't like it, and throws him out of there. As per usual, they always get the second guy in there, and chippy game started that way, and it stays that way.
No, it's been that way since a half hour before kickoff. These two teams kind of met at midfield. Niners had their huddle there. Rams didn't like that they were in there on their side of the field, and ever since the get-go, it's been just like that. Bill Vinovich and his crew have done a pretty good job keeping order today in a game that's featured 18 penalties. And on first down on the ground to Gore. Here's how this started.
We got to out-physical every single phase of the game. They want to compete with us. They want to compete with us.
John, it started from that, and it has been the theme the whole way through.
As advertised, it was going to be a tough one, and it was very tough. Sometimes cross the line. But that's how division rivalries are. Two teams that play each other twice a year. There's going to be some of that vitriol, and the 49ers seem to have gotten the best of the Rams today.
49ers just looking to run some clock as Dixon fighting forward. Now you look at the big picture for San Francisco. They and the Panthers and the leaders in the wild card race, and you think what's ahead. First of all, in the division, Niners still have hopes of catching Seattle. Seahawks have a monumental game Monday night against the Saints, which really could determine home field advantage throughout the playoffs in the NFC. That's tomorrow night. And then Seattle's here next week to take on San Francisco, and that's a pretty big 2-week stretch. That's for sure.
And I think you're going to have a very motivated San Francisco team who was embarrassed in game 1 against the Seahawks this year as they were just handled up at Seattle. Now they have them in their house, and they're going to hope to return the favor.
3rd and short, and the Rams stack it up. And so the 49ers will have to punt. Laurinaitis and Johnson were there. Here's what the playoff picture looks like right now. San Francisco should go to 8-4. Looks like the Eagles and Cowboys may come down to the last game of the year. That's in Dallas for the right to go to the playoffs and win the NFC East. And then San Francisco plays Arizona the last game of the year at Arizona. So there's a lot that could go on these last few weeks.
And look, it's going to be hard for them to catch Seattle. Look, they have them next week, so they can control some of that, give them a loss, gain another win. But the recent history says you don't have to be a #1 seed to get to the Super Bowl, to win the Super Bowl. And the 49ers just get in the tournament. That's what people are saying all across the league. Just get in the tournament. And believe me, this football team, I keep saying it, they're molding to form, to shape where they want to be. And it's going to be awesome.
I mean, what gives? Drew Brees doesn't lose on Monday night. Russell Wilson doesn't lose at home. And, you know, home field advantage has become in the playoffs completely overrated. I mean, it hasn't been a factor as much. But I think if it's a factor at all, it's for the two teams playing tomorrow night. They're decidedly different at home.
Yeah, I'm not so sure it's not a big advantage for the Seattle Seahawks, because, Kevin, you've been there. That place is loud, as Jimmy Johnson demonstrated this morning on our pregame show. It is crazy loud in Seattle, and a true home field advantage.
That's why that game is so important. The crazy thing is, too, look at this. Niners were down after the great punt by Lee inside the 5. Carolina's right there, and they could make a bid for a first-round bye. A lot to happen, but the 49ers putting themselves in good field position. 55-yard punt. Osgood keeps it inside the 5. All San Francisco today. This Thanksgiving weekend, whether you're a parent, teacher, student, or fan, there's a fun and easy way for you to hop on the NFL Play 60 bus. Get on board, join the movement that has helped millions of children get active and healthy. Visit NFLrush.com/play60. 49ers 23, Rams 6, 4:16 to go from Candlestick. The Rams, after a great punt by Lee, backed up on their own 3. Time for Clemens, whose fires over the middle complete. Chris Givens, he's got it up to the 19-yard line, good for a 16-yard game. John, unbelievable. We heard the update early, but Denver was down a touchdown. Now they're up 35-21 in Kansas City. Eric Decker with 156 yards receiving today. And Peyton Manning only has 5 more touchdowns. Clemens near side incomplete.
High-powered Denver Broncos, and improbable what happened, that comeback by New England.
You know, this hasn't been the day for Kellen Clemens, but he's actually played pretty well in relief of Sam Bradford. And this Niners defense so tough. He was, I'll tell one thing about Kellen. I know he's not enjoying today. He's been enjoying this opportunity. Just today, though, this Niners D so tough. But he hooks up with Cook for a first down up to the 39. What did he tell us, Johnny? He was a free agent. He signed back here. Asked, why did he sign here? Said, number one, they were the only team that called. Number two, wanted to be a part of this team and a part of Sam Bradford, and he meant that sincerely. And number three, Jeff Fisher.
Absolutely. And I think the greatest thing about it is he talked about early in his career in New York in that fishbowl, the quarterback for the New York Jets, not necessarily enjoying it. He's a type A guy who's going to put everything in, but Brian Schottenheimer says now he works incredibly hard, beats everybody into the building, out of the building, stays last, but then he enjoys it on Sundays, and it's a really neat story.
Tipped up in the air, and it's intercepted. Carlos Rogers, his second of the year. He was looking for Tavon Austin, and San Francisco's doing a really nice job keeping the clamps on Austin.
They sure have, and Kellen Clemens' receivers have really failed him. Not a perfect ball, but that ball needs to be caught in the NFL. And Bill Vinovich, a classy move. He knows that Kellen Clemens taking a beating, and Kellen Clemens kind of limps off to the sideline. Not his day.
Certainly not his day. He's had a bunch of drops too, and now the 49ers try to run things out. Anthony Dixon gets the call in the backfield. Anthony Dixon, arguably one of the plays of the day, and it came on special teams, John.
He had a big play on special teams, and you know, one of the great things that the 49er defense did today was put a clamps on Tavon Austin, who we just saw deflect that ball, because Tavon Austin of late has hit this league by storm and done so in historic fashion. You know, the things he has done. You see only 10 rush yards, 11 receiving yards, punt return 10 yards, and nothing on the kick return. And so they put the clamps on a guy who has been historically good here the last couple of weeks.
That's pretty impressive. He's had 4 touchdowns, over 57 yards in the last 2 weeks. What kind of company does that include? That kind of company.
Jim Brown and Gale Sayers, anytime you can get on a little graphic with those guys, you're doing something, and his future is very bright in St. Louis.
But we told you about Dixon and play that he made. Rams are deep in their own territory. They try to do a fake punt. Dixon blows up the play, and what could have been a huge gain under Stedman Bailey, the Niners took over. Next play, it's Colin Kaepernick to Vernon Davis touchdown, and all intents and purposes, game over.
He's an important player. He's the 4th running back, but he comes in late in games to kind of close the door. A lot of short yardage situations, but special teams. If you're a backup running back, that's where you're going to make your hay, and he certainly did today.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
It is indeed Sunday. Handoff to Kendall Hunter, and he is going to lose yardage. Alec Ogletree on the tackle. So who do the 49ers have next? We know Seattle next week, which will be a huge game on Fox for Jim Harbaugh's crew. Final timeout by the Rams. You get a couple games in there that are winnable. You look at the team's records. That game at Arizona could be enormous. Now the Cardinals lost today, but that could be for all the wild card marbles.
And obviously the interesting one is that one next week against Seattle. That is going to be something to watch as Jim Harbaugh and his team take on Pete Carroll and the Seahawks.
Well, today's game being produced by the great Pete Macheska and directed by the one and only Artie Kempner, the associate director Joe Williams, broadcast associate Tyler Dare, our technical director Clyde Taylor, and the technical producer is Clyde, technical director is John Howard. Thanks to our stat man Jeff Nelson, Brian Dwyer, Josh Weingrad, spotters Mitch Smith, and Bill Harmon. Just missed that one. Austin's going to let it go. John, I have to say, you know, here we are in December as they get a piece.
Yeah, he did. He got fingers on that. Athletic move by Andy Lee, getting out of Ray Armstrong's way.
I have to say, we are here in December 1st, and boy, we've got a great crew. So lucky to be around all these guys.
That's no doubt. You better like the people you're working with every week, and we sure do.
By the way, speaking of that crew, Keith DeSantis, who is phenomenal on the lower end zone shots you see. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Keith. And he's listening. There you go. Keith is a great camera person, great guy. He's a little sad, though, a Jet fan. Things got gross there today. Geno Smith bench. Sorry, Keith. Clemens near side, nearly picked, but Givens hangs on. With 2:14 to go from Candlestick. Tomorrow night, John, check out Almost Human. You'll see why critics are raving. RoboCops never look so good. Don't miss an all-new episode tomorrow night at 8/7 Central, right here on Fox.
He's almost human.
He looks it. I wonder when he was here when the Beatles had their last concert here at Candlestick. So much history in this place. 2 more games left at Candlestick after today. Austin on the cross is out of bounds near first down. See where they spot him out. He's going to be short. So he stepped out of bounds at the 32. I mean, 2 more games left here, barring 49ers can pull off a comeback and win the division. And it's kind of cool just standing here, just knowing all the history that's gone on in this place and all the championship teams that have been here.
I mean, Bill Walsh for years. Jerry Rice was here today. Joe Montana, Steve Young. The list goes on and on. Terrell Owens. Some great players played some unbelievable football in this stadium. I had the treat of being a visiting player in this stadium.
They'll move to Levi Stadium next year in Santa Clara. Collins hit as he throws, gets it to Peed. And Isaiah Peed is decked for a short gain on the play by Lemonnier. We've hit the 2-minute warning here in San Francisco. It's been a physical game. The 49ers have been the ones commanding most of it. They've got the lead. Jeff Fisher not thrilled. 23-6 Niners. Tonight, Fox Sports Live, Jay and Dan. Everything you need to know from Week 13 of the NFL. Plus, what does the BCS look like after yesterday's dramatic events? Best of the best for the past 7 days and the ones of the week. Fox Sports Live tonight at 10:30 on Fox Sports 1. Kellen Clemens, under 2 minutes to go from Candlestick, hits Isaiah Peed, and he's got a first down. And a late flag comes in from the secondary. That fits the theme of the game. 12-yard gain to Peed.
After the reception, during the run, illegal block in the back, offense number 89, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
That's Jared Cook, the addition they went out and got from the Tennessee Titans. Right there, right in the back. So I know people get frustrated by the penalties, but they've been quite obvious today.
You know, John, for these Rams, they've had a nice run without their starting quarterback today, not their day, but they could play a big factor going forward in this playoff race. Their next 4 games, they have to play as Clemens. And a fire and have a completion for Clemens. It's Quick, Ryan Quick. Quickly gets down to the 32-yard line of San Francisco for Eric Wright. Made the tackle. It's a gain of 29. Anyway, for the Rams, at Arizona, home for New Orleans, home for Tampa, and then at Seattle. So they could have a major factor here in this NFC West and wild card race. Clemens pressure hurdles over his own player, and he's got a lot of room to run. He'll take it. And he's got a first down stepping out at the 20. There's the schedule. They're playing 3 teams in the playoff race.
Arizona, New Orleans, and Seattle. And Jeff Fisher, you know, we keep saying, and it's hard for people to understand it when you're down 23-6, but there's a lot to look forward to here. Yeah, and Sam Bradford's going to get healthy, and they seem to have committed to him, and he's got to go take that and run with it because the talent is around him. But unless you have it at that position, it's tough to be very successful in this league.
1:16 to play. Out of time for Clemens. Going to have a completion inside the 10. It's Bailey. A lot more involved in the offense today. Pettis, excuse me. That was Pettis, not Bailey. 18, not 12. Gain of 11. But Bailey, number 12, has been more involved. He's in the game now. We were talking about Austin, their first-round draft pick out of West Virginia. Well, Bailey was right there. Third-round pick out of West Virginia. Incomplete. You know, the other thing, storyline in the NFC, John, got a big game in Seattle tomorrow night. Carolina's hot. Won 8 in a row. They're a game back in New Orleans. They play the Saints twice in the last 4 weeks of the season. I mean, that's pretty big.
It's good stuff. And those you know, Carolina, 8 straight, New Orleans. Drew Brees is always going to have them playing well. Rob Ryan has infused some energy and success into that defense. A very formidable team in New Orleans as well as Carolina.
Second and goal. Pressure. Clemens on the run. Nicely done. It's Austin, but a good tackle there as well as Wilhoit stopped him inside the 4.
You like the way Kellen Clemens and the Rams are finishing. Not your day-to-day, but finish the battle, and they certainly are. Kellen Clemens hanging in there.
Blitz coming, picked up, lofting it for Quick, and he hauls it in. Touchdown. Second touchdown of the year for Brian Quick.
Kellen Clemens knows he's got a big receiver out there in the 6'3". Brian Quick throws it up there. Very catchable football, and Brian Quick does his job. Goes up and brings it in.
With 18 seconds left, Rams will just attempt the extra point. Zuerlein will attempt the extra point. Make it a 10-point game with 18 seconds to go. Well, as we said, 2 more games at Candlestick Park remain as the 49ers brand new Levi Stadium goes up. And you want to talk about memorable? How about this? The catch, Dwight Clark, that came in '82, and then the catch part 2 with Terrell Owens in '98, and then very similar to Vernon Davis. That was in 2012 from Alex Smith 9 seconds ago. 3 unbelievable plays in the playoffs. So here's where the new place is being built in Santa Clara. It's a hike. Boy, we were down there. It's built right on the Niners facility, John.
And it's beautiful. They have done a tremendous job. We have not been inside. There's the rendering. They have all the Sky Suites on one side, the Sky Boxes, the luxury boxes to watch Vernon Davis, Colin Kaepernick, and the 49ers are certainly excited for their new home.
Vernon Davis has a touchdown today. Colin Kaepernick, 19 of 28, 275 yards and a touchdown. He's had 2 terrific games throwing the football. Anquan Boldin, 9 catches, 98 yards, and the return of Michael Crabtree, just to have him back healthy. I think Kaepernick's having fun. He should, the way he's played. But finish the thought. Crabtree today, 2 catches, 68 yards. He had a 60-yard catch. A lot of good for the 49ers. John, a lot can happen in the last month, but I can pretty much assure that no one wants to see this team in the playoffs.
Absolutely not. And Michael Crabtree is a big part of that. He can blow the top off a defense, and he brings that explosive element they frankly haven't had. You see the yardage way up for Kaepernick. Why? Because his receivers are back.
Play. Personal foul. Kicking team number 38. 15-yard penalty. First down.
San Francisco will just run it out. That's Cody Davis. Kaepernick had a quarterback rating of 134 last week. He's at 111 this week. And has these 2 weeks shown you enough to be comfortable in 49ers' ability to pass the ball?
Oh, no doubt about it. I think it's a work in progress, but with that man back, Michael Crabtree, with Manningham getting healthy, with Vernon Davis and Anquan Boldin, another huge day. 9 receptions for 98 yards. That's a great complement of receivers. And Colin Kaepernick has shown When the opportunity's there to be able to throw the ball effectively.
They will take a knee and wrap this one up from Candlestick. The 49ers get the victory, 23-13 over the Rams. We'll come back and wrap it up from Candlestick after this.